I still am.
We'd go to, what's the
What?
matter?
Memory card is full.
Oh, you already had something on it.
That's all right, we're on this other one. We would go to elementary schools when we had cars and lower the 10-foot goals down to one would be like 8.6 and the other would be 9 foot. And I can remember even in the high school when the South guys won the state championship, Flamenco and those guys came to play with us to play dunk ball at Blue Ridge.
Culbertson, yeah.
We just loved playing dunk ball.
You remind me a minute ago of whatever was big that kind of stimulated us to what we play. And a lot of that was around, like you said, basketball, but also like movies we'd go see. We'd reenact whatever movies it was. So, like in El Cid, it was a lot of jousting with the land, you know,
There were a few
jousting,
deaths in this story.
swords and shields. So the biggest guys, which was usually Bobby Eiler and I guess maybe Doug or something, they'd be the horses, and we get on their backs, and we had these like broomsticks with. We did put like a sock on the end of the broomstick or something to make it soft, and we joust and try to knock each other off. Can you imagine getting hit in the face with a broomstick?
I'd forgotten about that.
But another one was after we saw Spartacus. Is at the end of Spartacus, you remember they crucified all the Spartacus and all those guys.
Yeah.
So one afternoon. We got Tommy and Jerry, and we crucified him on the clothesline poles. We tied them up there, and they were up there for about an hour,
Oh,
screaming.
your parents know?
Yeah, they had to come cut them down when we were gone, probably.
But it worked. Hey, we didn't drive any nails into them.
What are some other movies we saw that really
Well,
drove us to
There was
play?
Ben-Hur. We couldn't make Chariot.
Yeah.
Sure, we thought, we decided we wanted a go-kart. So in my
Yeah.
garage, we decided to build one. And we didn't happen to have a motor, but we had an old mower.
Lawnmower.
We took the engine off the mower. Now, mowers, you may be aware, don't have variable speeds. It just goes at one speed, no matter what happens. And we didn't have a chain, so we used a rope. And we used a rope to the back. We got it started. Fortunately, we never got that going, or we would just been going 60 miles an hour forever on it. We spent a lot of
Obviously, we were very young, had that physics class or mechanic training at this point.
We did have one very dangerous activity that we all survived. My parents bought a long toboggan. It was probably 8 feet long, you think, Mo?
Yeah, we could get like at least 8 guys on it.
And it had one of those curls like toboggans do at the front. And they built a street down behind Wildwood Lake that they had not put any houses in yet, and it was a real long downhill. And we had an ice storm, so the conditions were perfect. So we would go there, and the guy in front had to put his legs crossed underneath the curl. So there was no way he could bail out under any circumstance. It was a suicide seat. And then we'd get on there, like 6 guys, and we'd get going. And we were going down that hill like 35 or 40 miles an hour, and you got to the bottom of the hill where the circle was, there was nothing to stop you except the trees and the hills. And the guys had begun to bail out, but the front 2 or 3 could not bail
That's
out.
why my knees are bad.
And the only thing that would stop us was by hitting stuff. But we did it over and over again. It was such a thrill. Just, you know, we argue who has to be in front, but it was just crazy going down those
It
hills.
was. Oh, those were fun days.
Who was in front?
Oh, we all did our
I
turn.
think Mo took some real battle scars in those days. Doug would say, Mo, you're in front. Because you couldn't steer the...
Your legs were open?
No,
The front guy.
the wood curved like this at the
Right.
front, and you would like do Indian your legs and tuck. You'd have to be tucked in tight so everybody could get on there, because they were like bobsleds in the Olympics. Guys, we would run, you know, and push and land on there and go
That
down.
front guy, when you come to complete stop, all the guys behind you, their momentum and pressure would push against your knees. That's why my knees are bad.
But, yeah. But hey, you know, we were talking about our parents and them not knowing we were doing dangerous stuff. When it snowed, they'd go out and give us a rope and pull us around with their cars. We when we had our sleds going around corners and stuff. I can remember doing that.
Yeah.
And some people do it where you'd hold on to the bumper. So, in the street. Dad would drive us around. My dad would do that. We'd be driving
And
around.
Mr. Otter did that too, I think.
Yeah. Hey, I got 3 of them. If I lose one, I still got 2.
We used to go take our sleds to over there by Robinson School. There's on 60.
Suicide Hill.
Yeah, Suicide. We go down
I don't know
Woodson.
why they called it that.
Woodson was really a real long high hill, but Suicide Hill dumped into it, and it was steeper, shorter, but it had a curve in it, and it was great.
And it had the added advantage of pretty heavy traffic.
Yeah.
So when you couldn't stop, you also had to worry about a car at the end of it.
You did. And back then, you didn't just ride your sled. It was, you know, the old wood sleds with the red runners, metal runners. And we'd play bulldog, where everyone take off and throw your sled down at the same time. And the idea was to tip the guy in front of you over. So we used to always take hacksaws and take our new sleds our moms gave us for Christmas. And instead of it being rounded, you know, on the back, we cut the top off and the back end off, so it just be a
couldn't
runner.
grab it.
So because it was easy to
Sawed
grab.
off sled.
We were the neighborhood sled toughies.
And one
We
of
used
those,
wax paper too to make them as fast as, like in that Clark Griswold deal with the Super. We did everything we could to make them as fast and dangerous as we
used to do
could.
soap on them. And one of those nights after sledding like that, I remember going home, and wherever there was a hill along the way home, I'd throw my sled down and ride my sled home. It was just pitch black. And it was on the street behind us, so it would be 66th Street. I was going down it, or getting ready to. I ran to throw my sled down. Like I said, it was really dark. And you know how the snow melts in some places. There wasn't snow there. I threw my sled down. It stayed. My face went on the asphalt.
I think we can
I had
still see those scars.
scabs on my whole face. Felt good.
One year, we decided, I think Mike was the first, or Doug, that bicycles were not well enough decorated. So we began to paint our bikes stripes. We put tape around little ones, you know, like they do in houses where they stripe walls. And we would paint our bikes different colors with stripes, so that all our bikes were really pretty elaborate. And you weren't always good about putting your bike away. I guess all our parents knew that in the garage. I'd always dump mine in the side yard there next to the driveway. Well, one day I came out and my bike wasn't there. We couldn't find it. So we called the police and said it had been stolen. It turned out they picked it up. They thought it was an abandoned bike because it was in the side yard. Mine was candy raspberry red and
Yeah.
white.
And I did mine black and white.
And then, of course, we used all the baseball cards to make them go flip, flip, flip. If we had those cards now, we'd be like billionaires. Bill Gates would be our servant if we had some of those cards.
These are Mickey Mantle rookie cards.
Well, I had Onus Wagner ones in the front and back wheels with close.
That's exaggerated.
Oh, you're right. Only in the front wheels, not in the back wheels.
Yeah.
Oh, those grade school years. We survived those.
Can we talk about the bomb?
Oh, the bomb.
One
Another good chance to die.
4th of July, all the boys in the neighborhood took all their extra firecrackers and the ones that fizzled and didn't really, or that didn't go off. So
Thousands of them.
we saved them all, and we actually spent all morning unwrapping these. And you know, remember that silver powder inside of Black Cats and those firecrackers. We unrolled them. We had a big pile of the powder. Well, it was at least 4 of the Turners,
Eilers.
both Eilers, Doug, me, Greg, Winnie, David Winnie.
Yeah, I think from back behind.
Yeah. Anyway, we did that all day. We took a Roman candle tube from a spent Roman candle, and you know it's hollow, and we dumped. I think it was Roman candle. Might have been.
It was.
It was big, and we poured all this gunpowder down in it, and we had a stick, and we were taking a hammer.
That was the
pounding
most.
it.
I think about it, the most dangerous thing, because you were just nailing that thing, trying to get it as tight as you possibly could.
That could have made it explode. In
That's what I'm
itself.
thinking. A spark
But-
there.
We made us a bomb, and we didn't know what it would do. And
We were hoping.
we made a hole in it, and we found one of those like an M80 or a cherry bomb fuse, one of those good fuses, and put it down in the hole. So